What is going on, everybody? Tommy here with another video, and I'm going back to the basics on this one. I do a lot of, well, not a lot, but I've done videos on simulated process and graphics and stuff like that, and that's a little bit more advanced. But I'm going back to the basics because I get a tons of questions about how I'm doing what I'm doing, but I'm not explaining what stuff I'm using. All right, first things first that you need, number one, is a computer. This is what I use. It's just a HP. Let's call it a 700 series PC with an external hard drive right there. That black box right there, that's an external. You need a computer to do graphics. You can't do graphics off of a cell phone. You can't use Pixlr, Pixar, or whatever people are using nowadays. That doesn't work. At the minimum, you need an i5 core processor. Number two, you need some graphic software. I use CorelDRAW. Some people use Adobe Illustrator. You could start off using GIMP, but that's very, very basic. It's more like fonts. It's PNGs. It does PNGs. You need a good graphic software. Adobe Illustrator, CorelDRAW would probably be the best to start off with. It does vector, and you don't need to do you don't need to vectorize everything to do screen printing. But when you're beginning, it's pretty much a must. It makes your work cleaner. You just learn more, and it's a good program to use. I use Corel because there's a lot of plugins and stuff that you use that are for Corel and not Adobe Illustrator. So right now it seems that the printing industry is going to CorelDRAW. So I would go with that because the software is compatible with CorelDRAW and not so much Adobe Illustrator is what I'm looking at, or Photoshop. So that's what I would go with. Number three, you do need a printer. This is the printer that we use, a Workforce 7710. That one, only reason we got it is because it prints 13 by 19s. We started off with it was a Brother, I think. It was just some basic printer, and we're getting jobs done. And I use a 7710 because it prints up to 13 by 19s. But you can get away with any inkjet printer that prints just a regular printer. You will need these sheets right here to print your transparencies on. Some people go to Staples or Office Max, I don't know where they go to get them printed. They take the file on a drive, take it over there, and they print it. So if you can do that, that may work for you, but it's better if you just spend the money and get you a computer, the graphics, and a printer. So that way you have access to everything. You can always do it. Or I think there are some people online that print transparencies for you. So if you don't have a printer and you just got a computer and a decent graphic software, you could send them the files and they'll print them for you and ship them to you, but that just takes time and it costs more money. So that's it. Next you will need is a screen press machine. I use the Vastex V1000. I started out with the basic Ryonet starter type kit. It was a 4-color 1 station. I got the jobs done, but it was hard. Keep in mind, the more you spend, the more efficient you'll be. So if you want to start off with very basic stuff, it's going to be a little bit more work for you. But if you're just getting started and you just want to go to the basics, that's what you need. You can start off with a 1-color 1 station, something to press a screen, something to attach a screen and bring down and print. That's all you need. It doesn't matter if you make your own, but at the minimum, you will need a screen press just to be efficient. You will need minor things like squeegees, mixing cups, flash adhesive, and what this does is that's a necessity. What it does is, let me see if I have, right? You spray this on your palette, right? It gets tacky. Your shirt sticks to it. When you print, the shirt doesn't come up with the ink, so that's a necessity. You will also need some inks. These inks right here, they're all different inks. I got some. Once you do more research and you learn what works best for you, you will need some inks. You can go to Hobby Lobby and you can start off with, or Michael's, and you can start off with some basic Speedball, which people bash it, but I have done some shirts with Speedball ink, and if you cure them right, they last forever because these are water-based inks and they dye the shirts. I'll get more in detail on what inks do what, but you will need at the minimum some inks. You will need some cleaning products, chemicals. Let me see what I got right here. I have some, actually I have it in a water bottle here. This right here is just a mix of, not a mix, it is press wash. It is to clean the inks off the screens when I'm done using them. Or if I'm doing changing colors, I use this to clean the screens and it takes the inks off. That is to clean plastisol. Like I said, I'll go more in detail about what inks do what, and water-based, you don't need all these chemicals, or this chemical at least to clean, but you can just use water. But if you're using plastisol inks, which I'll go into later, you will need a cleaner for plastisol inks. I've tried WD-40, I've tried paint thinner. Some people use xylene, I think, from Home Depot. But you'll need some type of cleaner, some type of chemical. You will need some type of light source to burn your images. This is the light that I use from Ryonet. Like I said, I don't promote Ryonet, but because I just use them starting, that I just stick with their stuff. That's a light source that you need to burn your screens. You can buy one, or you can make your own. There's tons of videos that people make their own screens or exposure units. I didn't have time. I had more money at the time than I did time. So I just went and bought some stuff. If you got more time than money, we'll make your own. You do need some type of emulsion. I use the Ryonet. I'll go in videos more in detail about that. There's a different emulsion. That's a different one. This is a different emulsion. And what that is the coating on the screen. The screen comes in. Look, these are how the screens come, blank. You will need products to clean these. When you receive them, you will need a degreaser, some type of degreaser. Let me show you what I use. I use ICC 858 stain remover degreaser. You need a lot of chemicals. So when you get these, you have to order some of these. They sell them in packs of 6, 12, or you could just buy one at a time. I buy them by 6 at a time for like 90 something bucks from US Gold, or I don't remember the website, but I'll probably post it on there. You need some screens to run your inks through to get on the substrates. All right, you will need a power washer of some sort, something to take these chemicals off the screens when you're done and you want to reclaim them. Like I said, tons of people have details about how to do this, and I would make videos on it. But right now I'm just kind of showing you the basics. Some type of power washer. I used to go to the car wash late, maybe 10 at night when it was dead and nobody was there. And I would let my screens build up, maybe 10 of them. I'd go to the car wash, and you can power wash these out. They look good. I used to do it at the house with a regular hose. It didn't work as well. So that's how I did it. But if you're doing this from home and you want to spend the money, you have the money to do all this and you really want to get into it, power washer you will need. You need some type of flasher. Some people get by with heat guns, but that's not for production. Like I said, this video is more like production stuff that you'll need. You'll need a flash dryer. This is a 16 by 16 from Ryonet. I'm looking to upgrade to an 18 by 18 air flash, and I'll get one real soon. I may just give this one away, or I may sell it. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see how I feel. I just gave a press away that I started with. It was a 4-color 1-station press with the big palette, the sleeve platen. I just gave it away. So hey, I might wake up feeling good. I may give this one away. It works just fine. So be on the lookout for that one. I'm not sure yet. You need a conveyor dryer to run your shirts through. Let's see, get a sample. When you are done pressing your shirt, you press your shirt, you have it down here, you press it, you run the ink through it, you have an image, you lay the shirt in the press or in the conveyor. Right, and what this does is it heats up to it heats up real high. So you get a temp gun. That's another thing you will need, and you can kind of test the the temperature of it, just to be sure that you're curing at the correct temperature. You want your shirts to come out at over 320, 325, 330, 360. There's different temperatures for different inks that you use and different fabrics. So that's what you will need. So that's just some of the basic stuff that you will need. You will need other little things like tape, rulers. Man, there's so many little things that you will need, but that's the minimum that you need to get started for screen printing. Most important, I would say, is if you're getting into it and you really want to get into it, spend the money on the computers and the software. Like I said, I use Corel Draw, and that's just what I use. You can use whatever you want. Like I said, I've never been in graphics. I've never done graphics in my life. You can see in my other videos what I can do now using Corel. That's how easy it is. If I can do it, anybody can do it. That's the basic stuff you will need. Of course, there's more little bitty things that I didn't go into everything, but those are the main things that you will need to be able to screen print a job. You need a computer to do your graphic. You need a printer to print the graphic. You need a screen to put the graphic on. You need transparencies. I guess let me break down the process. You need a computer for your graphics. The graphics go to the printer. The printer goes to the transparency. The transparency goes to the screen. The coated screen, that's an emulsion that you need to coat the screen. The light source, you need to burn your image. You got the power washer to wash the image out. And then you got your squeegees and your inks to print the shirt. And then you have your flasher and your conveyor to cure the shirt. So that's basic. That's a simple, broken down, super basic process of how this works. I'll do a video, kind of maybe a full video of how I do it, step by step. So that is what you would need to get started. So if you have any other questions or anything like that, give me a heads up or give me a holler.